Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back. I just want to thank you for your amazing support. I do think I've caught up on my email a bit, but the few of you who have not heard back from me yet, you will very soon, within the next day or so. So, Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank had a baby boy. How wonderful! I do hope we'll see a photograph of the baby soon. This is Andrew and Sarah's first grandchild. And of course, we are all now very curious as to what they'll call the baby. Anyway, I wish to congratulate Eugenie and Jack and wish them everything of the best. Okay, I've not heard back from Our Lady in Brown, and quite frankly, I do not expect to. But, like I said, at the very least, I stirred the hornet's nest. But let's wait. There is indeed much more to come. The first thing I want to do today is to read to you a bit of tea from Instagram. And this is something Royal Archie Holes had found elsewhere, and she very kindly put it up for us on Instagram. The post reads, "A friend asked me today why I am absolutely adamant that Miss Markle is lying about the baby, and when I told her, she was shocked. My family are devout Christians, and I have two uncles that are vicars, and also a nephew of my dad's was a bishop. My uncle was at the General Synod in York and actually saw the Archbishop of Canterbury with his own eyes when he was supposed to be in Windsor baptizing the Archie. I wrote to Lambeth Palace and asked if His Grace could explain this, and I was told that His Grace declined to comment. This means that the head of my church, Her Majesty the Queen, lied for Miss Markle. The religious head of my church, the Archbishop of Canterbury, lied for Miss Markle. And the whole of the royal family lied for Miss Markle. I believe my uncle implicitly so know that they are all lying." Now, although we have established a long time ago that the christening photograph had been heavily photoshopped, what did not get a lot of attention, although myself and others have talked about it, is the fact that the Archbishop of Canterbury was at a synod meeting on the day of the alleged christening. Obviously, many people said that the Archbishop of Canterbury was perhaps flown back and forth for the christening. But at the time, the agenda for the day was still available on the church's website. And what blew the theory out of the water was that according to the agenda, the Archbishop of Canterbury was leading a prayer meeting in the morning and a discussion in the afternoon. If I remember correctly, but I do remember that his program was pretty full that day. And now, here we have it, confirmed. So what now? Is the Queen going to allow for everybody drawn into this drama to be branded liars, even the Archbishop of Canterbury? I feel empathy for the 94-year-old Queen, but this needs to stop, and the truth needs to be told. The same applies to this woman in brown who's also drawn into this lie now. She may be completely innocent, but because of the royal family hiding the truth about this child, even innocent people who do not deserve it, are now being drawn into this whole shenanigan and drama, and I find it very unfair. Moving on, during the course of the week, I had a number of discussions with subscribers via email about why Harry and Meghan were allowed to get married. As they themselves have told us, The royal family are, after all, internationally protected persons, and as such, I'm sure MI5 did a thorough background check. I'm sure that there were some shenanigans on Harry and Meghan's side. Possibly she pretended that she was pregnant, or maybe they got engaged without informing the Queen, or even possibly both. However, the more I look into the matter, the more I am convinced that there is indeed more to it than just that. And now I'm just going to tell you a story that you may or may not already know about. I have a feeling that most of you on here have heard about that young black American woman, I think she's from Texas, who claimed that she was approached to seduce and marry Harry. I read 2 articles about it in the past, but never saved it. And now, strangely, while looking for it, I cannot find it. And it appears as if it had disappeared off the internet. Well, originally I didn't save it because I thought it was just about some girl wanting some attention. However, after thorough research this past week, I no longer think so. Some of you may not like what I have to say next, but this is how I think Meghan and Harry's relationship and marriage was allowed to happen. It is commonly known in British elite circles that Violet von Westenholz at one point was trying to find her best friend somebody suitable for him to marry. She actually gave an interview, and I found at least 2 other articles about this. So it is no secret. Like I also told you before, Violet's father is a good friend of Prince Charles. So it is my firm belief that Charles had whispered in his friend's ear that his daughter should find Harry a black or mixed race woman. Violet then met Meghan in 2015, and when it became known that Charles would be in Istanbul in 2015, it was arranged between Violet and Marcus that Meghan would receive an invitation to the opening of Soho House in Istanbul, so Charles could check her out. Charles went one step ahead and asked Harry to join him in Istanbul. Things did not go as planned though, and Harry did not show much interest at the time in the girl because she was not his type or preference. In 2016 they tried again, and a meeting was set up in London at Soho House, again orchestrated by Violet and Marcus. This time they were on home soil, and Meghan had the opportunity to meet with Harry privately and seduce him. And the rest is history. And that, along with the Archie drama, is the big secret I believe Meghan is holding over the royal family. I do not believe that she's blackmailing them with info on Andrew or anything else. We also discussed why Charles would have wanted Harry to marry a biracial or black woman. Well, it is simple, and a bit naive on his part, I would guess, but I believe that it was for selfish reasons, to make him and his family look more tolerant, more modern, more accepting, and less racist. And who knows what else. I have my own opinion, but I know that my entire opinion would not be well received, so let us leave it right here. So folks, that indeed is my opinion, and I have now finally spoken it out loud. And that is why I think the royal family is currently tiptoeing around Meghan and Harry. Okay, so we had Meghan and Harry supposedly dropping in via Zoom on a poetry meeting. Strangely, just as many of us started speculating as to why we are not seeing Meghan anymore. Also strange that neither Meghan nor Harry really looked like themselves. Also strange that it was so soon after Harry was seen on a bus with James Corden. So are we to believe that Harry rushed home and jumped on a Zoom call with Meghan? Yeah, right. Anyway, and just as we are wondering about their Spotify podcast, Harry announces his latest podcast, all about Invictus and the NHS. And I would love to know what the NHS has to do with him, seeing that he doesn't live in Britain anymore. Why not talk about American frontline workers, for that matter? And finally, we have Judge Warby giving his judgment later today. Let us cling to the hope for the next few hours that at least the justice system can still be fair and unbiased. I know I said I'll release a funny video, but honestly folks, I do not feel very funny lately. I guess the virus and its effects and all the disappointments we feel in those leaders we trusted and loved had finally seeped into my soul as well. So, my friends, I'm not saying bye today, but rather see you later, as I shall be back soon after Judge Warby's judgment. Okay, guys and girls, see you later.